Aaron just put his pole down, literally just put it down and set it up on the jaw jacker. Here we go. First Kokanee of the day.
Rainbow.
Little guy, but hey, no complaints here.
It's a little trout, it looks like.
It's a trout? No, it's a Kokanee.
Is it? Yeah.
He's got a Kokanee face.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's Kokanee. Kokanee, there we go.
That was easy.
Nice little guy. That was easy. He literally just put it down.
Right, I thought that it was a false set until I picked it up and there was a fish on the end of it.
Hey, we're just setting up.
Yeah.
Look at that. First Kokanee. Aaron's got another one. Third one already. Wow. Nice one. Aaron's has got a beautiful Kokanee. That's the nicest one so far.
Yeah.
Little male. Look at that. Beauty. He's on fire. 4 already. We just got here. Literally. I'm just setting up. That's number 4.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Why have we never fished here before?
Yeah, right? Look at the people here. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
They're coming right. There you go.
Fish on. That was quick. Really quick. Look at that little guy. First Kokanee. Not a big guy, but it'll be great on the smoker. Look at that. Nice little hook jaw. A little bit. Very cool. Found the mother lode right here. Aaron got 5 already. First one here as soon as I drop in his hole. Do it again. Right on those guys.
Nice job.
Little female, number 2. Fast and Furious right here. I tell you. Once you find them.
Yeah, there's like a massive school coming through right now. Be quick.
Yeah, go.
My fingers don't work. Look at all that.
Same height?
Right off the bottom.
Oh, right off the
I
bottom.
would guess about a foot off the bottom. Now they're right in the middle, about 6 feet.
Thanks for sharing your hope.
Of course.
You already had 5 done before sunrise.
It's either a bunch of fish or you. I can't tell which one.
It's really shallow.
Yeah, it's only 9 feet deep right here. Oh, he took my shrimp. That's why I'm not getting anymore. Son of a gun.
Yeah, the bottom seems to be the ticket.
Yeah, like I said, they're coming in right along the bottom or right around 3.5, 4 feet. You got one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's another beauty. Number 3, just like that. Another male. Look at the colors. Kokanee. Aaron got one. Look at that beautiful fish. That's a nice one. Good gown.
I hope these little guys taste good on the smoker. I bet they will.
Just had a tap. Sun is coming out. It's getting nice. It's pretty chilly this morning. There we are. As soon as I turned the camera off, look what showed up. Mr. Hookjaw right there. Here's what we're using, a little tube jig, little pink tube jig with a little bit of shrimp. Literally a little bit of uncooked shrimp, little chunk of it. And that's been the ticket, I promise you. Beautiful little kokanee. It's gonna be great on the smoker. Nice little hook jaw. And as soon as I turn the camera off, sure enough, kaboom. Got one. Here it comes. Here we go. Nice little guy. Oh, Aaron's got one. Keep going, Aaron. No. You got him. Very nice. Seems like the bite's starting back on. Nice little male. Just had a tap myself. This lady here got one. Got number 9 right here. Aaron's got 9, I got 9. Pretty awesome. It's 10 o'clock. And
The race to 10, who can get their limit first?
we're both very close. Pressure's on. Now, believe it or not, this little guy was trying to come out of the hole by himself. You can tell he's struggling. He's dying right there. And he was coming out. See if he'll go back in. See if he wants to. Ah, he's gone. Want to catch our fish legitimately. That was wild. I was just fishing here and you could see the fish trying to get out of the water over there. So, yeah, doesn't happen every day. Aaron's got it. Last fish. Nice one, Aaron.
Camaro dose. Great fish to finish it off. Look at that guy. Fully committed to that tube jig.
Oh yeah, it was. Look at that. So now, that's it. One more for me and we're done.
We're not
Awesome,
done.
congratulations.
We'll change of scenery when you get your last one.
Yeah, we'll check out a different spot. Oh, that one. Oh yeah, got her. Very nice. Number 10 right here. Not a monster. So we got our limit. That's what matters. Can't wait to put them on the smoker. It's gonna be awesome.
Gonna get some caviar out of her.
Yeah, little female right there. Nice colors. So time to grill some lunch. We're gonna try a different spot for different fish. But what a morning it was. Never been here. We both got our limit in 11 o'clock. We're done. Pretty awesome. Hey, what an amazing morning. We came in, first light, never been here, Dillon Reservoir. We've heard that the fish are running here. Those kokanees, it's the season. First ice, there's barely any ice really. This little cove is it. The rest is all open. And sure enough, there's a lot of people. But guess what? There's a lot of fish. In no time flat, within 15 minutes, we had about 10 on the ice. After that, it did slow down. But guess what? 11 o'clock and we're done. We got a nice limit, some nice fat ones in there. These fish are not going to taste as good as some of the kokanees we've had in the past. They're in the middle of the winter, haven't been spawning. But guess what? When we smoke these bad boys, they're going to turn pretty awesome. So stay tuned. We're going to go home and we're going to show you how to do it. Gonna be pretty phenomenal. Ah! What an amazing morning on the ice. Aaron and I both got our limit. 10 beautiful kokanees. Now, time to fillet them so we can go to the next step. Let me start cutting and see what it looks like. I've actually never cut into one of these before, so I'm curious. I've definitely filleted plenty of kokanees, but I'm curious about this reservoir. So let's see what we got. I'm just gonna do kind of regular type of fillet and you know, see what we got. Definitely lighter than I'm used to seeing. Usually kokanee in 11 mile are much more orange. Yeah, more like you know, when you're used to salmon. This is definitely lighter. Yeah, that's simple. Just kind of a regular fillet. And there we go. Just left with the, yeah, no waste. And then just gonna get the rib cage out. Pretty easy. Just gonna scooping the rib cage. There we go. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Still a little bit more here. Some of the rib cage stayed on the carcass, so just scooping the little bones. That's that. We got a nice fillet. I'm gonna have to repeat for all of these. But yeah, look at that. That's pretty nice looking. So I gotta finish these, and then I got 9 more to go. So I'll see you in a bit. Here we are. That's the yield from the fillets. We got 10 kokanee in here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna smoke these bad boys. But first, we're gonna do a dry rub to prepare them for the smoking. So super easy. There's many ways you could do it. What we're gonna use here is brown sugar and salt. So we have a ratio of 3 cups of brown sugar to 1 cup of salt. And guess what? You get to do whatever you want. If you want it to be a little bit sweeter, put more brown sugar. A little saltier, put more salt. There's no right or wrong here. That's just to prep the fish. So what we gotta do is mix it first. So I'm gonna take my brown sugar, dump it, and then I'm just gonna mix it all up together. Make sure it's well mixed, obviously. So there's no salty patches. So my rub is perfect. It's homogeneous, well mixed. Next step, I'm gonna put some at the bottom of this container here. This old Tupperware. And what I'm gonna do is do layers. So we're gonna layer our fish just like so. See, some of the fish are wider or lighter, and that's because they're further along the spawn. The more they spawn, the less they feed. It changes the color of their meat, which we'll see. I've never had fish that have been in a spawn like that, so especially salmon, because they do die after the spawn. So it'll be very interesting, see what we got. Hey, you gotta try everything once. And that's what we're doing. So I'm just making sure we got plenty of mixture here with the dry rub over our fish. And basically what we're doing here is a fish lasagna, because we're gonna layer it up just like so and keep going. Add some layers, and definitely again, don't be worried. Salt and sugar is pretty cheap, so you definitely don't want to be stingy here. Here we are. Last layer. Dump the rest. Hey, just look at that. We had the perfect amount for what we need here. So here we are. Just finished up our fish lasagna, as you can see. So I'm gonna let it sit for about 8-10 hours. You could do it longer, but these fish are pretty thin. You know, the fillets are pretty thin, so you don't need to let it sit too long. And you know, we're gonna smoke it. It's gonna be awesome. It's been an hour and a half. It's turned into a little bit of a soup, which is normal. So basically, all the sugar and the salt became moist and turned into a little, basically a little syrup. So I'm just gonna mix it all up. And I want to make sure that all these fillets are getting some of that sweetness action, some of this concoction. So that's why I'm just kind of mixing it up a little bit, because otherwise it's not going to be as good as far as doing an even rub. So I just moved it all around, got everything mixed pretty good, so it's all even. What I'll do is make it tight. Just gonna shift it around, and I'll do that, you know, every couple hours, just to make sure that it's all even as far as the that little syrup that I was talking about. It's gonna get in all those pieces of fish, so it's gonna make it awesome. So I just checked on the fish. It's been over 7 hours. The fillets on the thin side, so they seem ready. So we're gonna proceed to the next step, which is basically to dump the fluids, rinse the fish, and pat it dry. And then we're gonna lay it on the cookie sheet for about an hour in the fridge. So it just dries out, so it's ready for the smoker. So let's do it. So I'm just gonna dump all this. All right, that should do it. Yeah, some of these fillets, they shriveled up a little bit from the brine, which that's all the fluid right there, really. All the sugar and the salt pulled a lot of the fluid out of the fish. And that's the idea, really. Give it some flavor. But it looks amazing. Can't wait to try them. Once we smoke them, it should be sensational. So before putting them in the fridge, I'm just trying to pat them dry as much as I can. Try to remove as much moisture as possible so that it will create a little pellicle, and it will make it much easier for the smoke to adhere to the fish. So that's why you want to make sure your fish is pretty dry before you actually smoke it. So it looks pretty good right now. So the fridge is going to help dry it out some more. So here we are. Look at that. Beautiful fish. Just going to put it there. You know, we'll see in about 40 minutes to an hour. See how we're doing, and then we'll get smoking. So here we are. We're ready for the smoker. I'll let the fish sit in the fridge for about 45 minutes to an hour. It looks perfect. It's just dry enough. It's got that little pellicle on it. So let's put it on the smoker. I got applewood pellets in there. It's a pellet smoker. So we're just gonna lay them on for about, let's say, we'll see, most probably an hour and a half. Almost taste them. And then we'll be able to compare. Aaron, who's behind the camera right now, actually did a batch this morning or earlier today, and he did a little differently, so we'll be able to see which way's better, or you know, if they're both about the same. That'll be interesting. Thing of beauty, look at that. So an hour and a half, they should be perfectly smoked. So let's close this bad boy, and we'll see you in a little bit. We're smoking up the place. It's pretty cold out. It must be in the teens right now. So the temperature's been holding a little low. It's been a couple hours, and it looks good. You know, we'll let it go a little longer, because again, it's a little colder, but the fish looks perfect, just the way we want it. So now we're gonna crank it up and finish it off for about a half hour, and I think it'll be ready, because again, those are small fillets. So we're gonna crank it up, 200, most probably it's gonna run below that, just because it is that cold out. And we'll see in a bit. Well, it's been a good 45 minutes. Look at this fish. It's definitely ready. We're gonna finish it off with a little bit of honey, a little bit of pepper. That's good. Nice cracked pepper. Match made in heaven. We'll see you in 5. Can't wait to taste it. See what we got? Oh, look at this. Looks amazing. Can't wait to try those. And sure enough, you know, they look small, but I'm sure they're gonna pack a punch. But only one way to know is to try them. Look at that. Well, let's see. We got a few people inside. See what they think. Well, look at this fish. If that's not amazing looking, it just looks perfect. But let's see if it's as good as it looks. So I'm gonna dig in. And now, it's kind of cool because Aaron was able to do some himself, and he did a different recipe. So we'll be able to have two different twists on this. That's Aaron's Kokanee that he did earlier today. So, so how did you do yours? Just to be clear here what we're dealing with.
So mine, I did just a quick brine of 2 parts brown sugar to 1 part salt. I let it sit for about 2 hours. I put it on smoke with really low heat for another 1.5 hours, and then cranked it up to about 225. I put some honey on mine as well, because that's what makes salmon excellent. But then after I took it off the smoker, I chilled it. So we're going to have one cold and one hot and see how it turns out.
Yeah. So yeah, sure enough, I do like my smoked fish colder because you can taste it more. But we're not going to wait here because it's ready. So let me dig in. And this fish, you know, is different in that it's been spawning. And usually kokanee that we've been catching haven't been spawning. So I wouldn't expect it to be as good. So that's why by smoking it, doing it this way, I'm expecting it to be one of the better way of doing it. Because obviously, you know, the fish has been, wow, look at that, nice meat. Hasn't been feeding like they normally do. Now you have little pin bones, but guess what? That's extra chondroitin for your joints right there. And that's good for you.
Says the chiropractor.
Wow.
Is it good?
Very, very good. Almost tastes like bacon right here. Nice little snack to bring on the ice and keep us motivated. But now, let's see what Aaron thinks, and yeah, we'll taste yours too.
Yeah,
but A-OK, it's phenomenal, and I would definitely do it again just like this.
Yeah, the smoke toughened up the outside a little bit, so it'll preserve it real well. Makes it a little, well, just kind of rip it apart. It's got really good flavor to it. The smoke really comes out.
Yeah.
Once it's chilled and sits overnight, it's gonna come out even more.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really good. The honey adds just a nice little sweet aftertaste to it. Complements the salt on it really well.
It's really good.
So, to be clear, this is actually our dessert here because we just had a stuffed trout with scallop, shrimp, and all kinds of goodies. And that's a trout we caught after catching these kokanees. So if you're interested, watch that video. We're just hoping to get into some kokanee. We had never really gone there, and you know, we were pleasantly surprised, to say the least, that by 11 o'clock we're limited out. So we decided to go in Terra Reservoir, you know, on the way back home, and cut a beautiful cut bow, and we just did a, you know, different video with it. So if you're interested, check it out. But I'm really impressed, so let me check out Aaron's version here. It's gonna be a little bit more moist because ours will let it go a little longer, and you can tell just by the color, you know, it's the same fish. So we smoked this guy a little more, but let's see. Wow. Very good. Being cold and all, you can't really taste it, and it's definitely because it's more moist, and that's got a different texture. But very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, they're completely different from one another.
Yeah. Both excellent though.
Yeah, I should have left these on a little bit longer, I think, but it's not bad.
No, I'd say. Give us our opinion here.
That's good.
I definitely enjoyed it myself. Pretty good, huh?
It's very good.
Yeah. So which one are you trying? The yeah, that one. Got it. The one we just smoked. I wasn't sure.
It's a little sweet,
Yeah.
a little salty, but none of it is overpowering.
Nope. And the pepper.
And you can really taste the flavor of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
It has a nice smoky flavor.
Yeah.
This is so good. I literally think I could eat that whole entire plate.
Well, you're gonna have to arm
Like
wrestle
to
me for that
myself
one.
right now. I could literally down this whole thing.
And that's after eating a pretty hefty meal.
I just told Aaron, I can't even take a bite. I'm so stuffed. And now I think I could eat this whole plate.
Teresa, you had some?
Yeah, I ate my whole thing already.
The skin remains.
What's left.
That's
it was delicious. Nice, perfect balance of sweet and salty.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the texture of the one that's a little bit drier.
Yeah, good to the skin.
Yeah. Delicious. Better than I thought.
And the skin, the scales are so small on these fish. You can't eat the skin with it. That's your vitamins for the day right there. Wow. I can't even see the scales. Extra oils. Wow. You all that don't like the skin, you can literally peel it right off just like that and enjoy this sweet piece of meat. This is some of the best fish I've ever had smoked like this, and I kid you not. And I have to say though, I did a little research on these kokanee because at that reservoir where we went, Dillon Reservoir, they're actually the only self-sustaining population of kokanee here in Colorado. Knowing that, I wouldn't want to go and, you know, pound on them too hard, because really there was still some fish there that had some eggs, some of the females. So I would definitely release the females if they have any eggs. I would let them go, knowing that. And I wouldn't go every day, obviously. To just go and harvest something like that, it's a-okay, because there's millions of them, and they're on the smaller side because there's so many. And there's the plankton there, the zooplankton, is being eaten up by the mysis shrimp. There's so many shrimp, and they're putting a hurting on the plankton, which is putting a hurting on the kokanee. So those fish were really on the small side, you know, to be mature at 3 to 4 year old, to be not really that big compared to some of the other kokanee. So it's okay to take some, but I wouldn't want to go and overdo it, just, you know, personally. But plenty of other places you can snag them just because they're going to die anyways. And that's what I thought. I thought these guys were just going to die anyways. I didn't think they were producing there, but they're the only exception in Colorado. So hey, enjoy in moderation. Hope you get out there. It was definitely a hoot, and I'm glad we went. And you know, they were biting like crazy, and just to catch fish in the spawn like that in colors, and you know, the whole experience was awesome. And they actually taste much better than I ever dreamed of, because I was a little worried, and that's, you know, yeah, just say the least. Because those fish, you know, in the process of dying, really, after they spawn, they will die. I even had that one fish tried to come out of the hole by itself, and you could tell it was struggling. So I don't know. I think it was headed towards the light and thought its suffering was over. But I
put it back.
I put it back just because it didn't seem right to just, you know, take him out. Literally, it was trying to jump out of the hole, and I'm like, well, I can't do that. That was gonna be my 10th fish, so I just kind of gave it a little, you know, a little push, and it went right back in. And then, you know, gets to live another day. So the consensus is, this is really the perfect balance between the flavor of the fish, obviously the little bit of honey, pepper, and the salt, and the brown sugar. All of it together makes for a nice treat. And I wouldn't think twice about doing it again, because really, it's phenomenal. And we had a great time catching them. They were definitely a hoot. There were a lot of people there where we went, but guess what? I mean, that's why there's so many fish. A lot of people. It's a small area that was iced over. But next year, Thanksgiving time, I think we'll be doing it again, because it's definitely well worth the detour. Hope to catch you next time, or our next adventure of catching dinner. We have a lot more coming. A lot more ice fishing, obviously. Winter is upon us. Cottontail hunting coming up soon. And thank you so much for coming along. We appreciate it. Till next time, eating well, in great company. Tonight was an amazing time. We cooked up the fish. Aaron brought some nice smoke. Actually, he smoked some, not only some summer sausage, but some nice cheddar cheese for us. And we had quite a feast. So if you're interested, check out that video. Wow. That's all I gotta say. In conclusion, me like this very much. It's very nice. Wow.
Okay, Borat.
Wow.
Even my sister like it.
What's her name?
Yeah, definitely delicious.
Yep.